Hello everyone and welcome. James aka Boston Angst on Twitch here. I just wanted to post a video explaining why I'm no longer playing Diablo 2 Resurrected and why I've been playing Project Diablo 2 on my Twitch stream. I get the constant questions from people when they come in asking me why I'm no longer playing Diablo 2 Resurrected, and I figured a video would be a good way to provide some insight. And the more I got into it, the more I realized that there is just so much more of a personal bias that I have towards Project Diablo 2. And I kind of wanted to share those insights. Maybe there's someone on the cusp that is playing Diablo 2 Resurrected that's never tried any mods or anything like that before, and it could open your eyes to something that you've never done before. And this video here took me longer than any other video that I've ever edited before. Normally, I'll take a introduction, slam a Twitch stream clip, and sometimes an outro, and that's it. And this here has taken me a couple of days to go through and just get everything done. So without any ado, I hope you guys enjoy the video.
I'm having trouble trying to sleep. I'm counting sheep and running out.
What is Project Diablo 2? Project Diablo 2, or more commonly known as PD2, is a free-to-play mod for Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction. Created on November 6, 2020, it was a game that was created by fans, given life by Twitch streamer Senpai Something. Project Diablo 2 is a free-to-play mod of the existing Diablo 2 that aims to maintain and improve upon an original Diablo 2 experience. What is Diablo 2 Resurrected? Diablo 2 Resurrected is a Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction HD remaster developed by Vicarious Visions and Blizzard Entertainment, and was published by Blizzard Entertainment on September 23, 2021. Initially, it had been very poorly received, with many people who purchased the game asking for refunds due to server issues. Because the game was built upon Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction, there was no quick fix for the server problems, but eventually they were resolved. D2R and TCIP, The Broken Promise. For reference, I'm going to be utilizing an article from WCCF Tech, published on August 11, 2021, and the title of the article is Blizzard Removes Core Diablo 2 Resurrected TCIP Multiplayer Support Despite Promising Otherwise Earlier. And in the article it states, Blizzard has silently removed TCIP multiplayer support in Diablo 2 Resurrected, despite promising earlier that this core feature would be included in the remaster. Yesterday, Blizzard officially announced the date for the game's early access and open beta on PC, Xbox, PS4, PS5. And in the official blog post, Blizzard also included a beta FAQ. Interestingly, this FAQ mentions that TCIP support won't be available in the game's upcoming beta or final game due to potential security risks. TCIP support will no longer be available in the upcoming beta or final game, the FAQ reads. After careful deliberation, we will no longer be supporting this option as we have identified potential security risks and are committed to safeguarding the player experience. While a lot of players won't be bothered that Blizzard is removing TCIP multiplayer support from the remaster, core Diablo 2 players most likely won't be too happy with this silent removal. Even more so considering the game's executive producer Rod Ferguson promised that this feature won't be stripped down from the game as to offer players an authentic experience. A lot of the stuff that we are doing what was there in the original, Ferguson said during an interview with Eurogamer earlier this year. We're really focused on having an authentic experience. You can still connect locally through TCIP if you want to. That was there in D2. It'll be there in D2R. We've really focused on making sure that if something about the core experience you loved, we're bringing that over. Interestingly, in the same interview, the executive producer pointed out to the team is really benefiting from being on a more secure platform now. But we do get a lot of benefits from being on a more secure platform, he said. One very important thing that is missing from this article is that larger mods such as Project Diablo 2 utilize TCP to run their client, as a completely separate client would initiate a lawsuit from Blizzard Entertainment per their terms of service with the game. Why not compare D2R and D3? Diablo 2 Resurrected at its core is a good game. It is an HD remaster rebuilt on top of a game that most of the Diablo community loves. To many people, this was the pinnacle of the Diablo franchise. Diablo 3 wasn't received as well amongst many within the Diablo community. The oversimplistic breakdown of a once complex game as well as a real money auction house were to blame for initial launch failures. Even with the removal of the real money auction house, Diablo 3 didn't seem to gain traction with some older Diablo players, due to the fact that in their minds they had already played the superior version of the game years ago, or still continued playing what they saw as a superior version. D2R Pros and Cons. Going to start off with the pros of D2R. Nostalgia. Upon release of the D2R trailer, many including myself were taken right back to a time where Diablo 2 was king. You were ready to block any incoming phone calls and get yourself online to slay some demons. Graphics. The trailer and the game itself sucked you right in with an immediate callback to an old classic with a new flavor, showing off Blizzard and Vicarious Vision's aptitude to re-engineer a timeless classic with modern graphics. Gameplay. The fact that Blizzard and Vicarious Visions were able to map over the pre-existing files to recreate the game is nothing short of amazing. The gameplay felt exactly the same as D2, but with the new graphics it brought a new life to an old game that many had hoped for. Battle.net connectivity. The ability to slay demons with friends you have met over the years is something that will never get old. The fact that the integration was built into the game was a definite plus. And the ability to communicate across games is also great to keep in contact with people you haven't talked to in a while. Controller support. For the more casual playstyle, the controller support for Diablo is something that is definitely a game changer. While it is not something that is utilized by all, it is a nice feature to have added to the game for those who would like to use it. Console compatibility. While no crossplay is enabled for D2R, it is nice having the option where you would like to slay your demons, whether it be sitting on your desk on a PC or laptop or sitting on the couch playing on your TV. Cross progression is also a nice feature added to the game so that you may continue your action elsewhere. With all the aforementioned positives, there aren't too many negatives to list, but here are the cons of D2R. TCP removal. With the removal of TCP, local connectivity within a household has been changed completely. If you wish to play with multiple people in a household, it is now required to purchase multiple copies of D2R, which was never a thing in the past with Diablo 2. As stated previously in the video, with the removal of TCP, they also had killed the ability for any large mods to be created without fear of a lawsuit from Blizzard Entertainment. Battle.net connectivity. Although previously listed as a positive, there are many players who do not enjoy the connectivity provided by Battle.net and find their servers are not as reliable as some of those that are hosted privately for mods. D2JSP/trading websites. The pricing of items on live servers deteriorates much quicker than on private servers, due to third-party sales via online trading websites. While D2JSP and trading websites are not permissible by D2R's terms of service, it is still a commonplace within the game and it constantly drives the value of items to extremely low prices in a short period of time. The enforcement of rules in D2R seems to be much less of a commonplace than on mods. There are plenty of instances of people complaining due to permabans from mods to usage of websites such as D2JSP. Pros and cons of PD2. Just as we did in the D2R section, we are going to be starting off with the pros of PD2. Community. As stated previously, PD2 was a mod that was driven by fans created by Senpai Something. PD2 has a strong sense of community. If you are new to the mod, there are many guides and people on the Discord who are more than willing to help you out. If you are fortunate enough to become a part of a smaller community within PD2 community, the game just becomes even more enjoyable than imagined. Mapping. Something that was added to PD2 that is not present in D2R is the ability to run maps. Mapping ramps up to 3 different tiers, exponentially increasing with difficulty with each tier. But with great risk comes great reward, and the drop rate, magic find, monster density, and experience is increased upon each tier. Maps can be done solo or as a group. If you opt to solo play, the loot is always set to players 3, so the drop rate of items is much more frequent solo than it is in D2R. Ubers. New Uber bosses are added to PD2, some with the extreme slope of difficulty adding a new experience to Ubers, so you aren't stuck doing the same old bosses that came in the base game back when it was released. Dungeons. Dungeons are the hardest difficulty map you can do in PD2. They require a specific set of characters to be able to complete. Dungeons are created by taking a tier 3 map and slamming it with a Herodrum Scarab. If you do not come prepared with a properly set up group, you will not get through this content. This requires an organization of a party of people to command specific roles and execute properly for a chance at higher yields of loot than a tier 3 map. Trade website. PD2 has an excellent trade site built on their main website at projectdiablo2.com. The ability to refine item searches to find your exact need is a game changer. When you mouse over an item in PD2 and copy it, Ctrl-C, it will copy the properties of the item for a trade. When you create a trade via the website, it will provide a box for you to paste Ctrl-V the information into, and you can have the ability to list your own price. You can view other items of similar stats to figure out what your item is worth, and players will either message you in-game or via the website if they are interested in purchasing your item. Discord. The community around PD2 is quite an excellent one. They have SC and HC players with trade channels, service channels, map trading, price checking, and much more. They have a class discussion channel for each class where you can get some more insight on how to go about building your character properly. Item balances. Items that were overpowered in Diablo 2 have now been properly balanced in PD2. Items that were underpowered have also been boosted in PD2. New skills. Many skills have been added to PD2 to add new endgame builds to different classes in Diablo 2, as well as balance changes to old skills to either scale up or scale down abilities to put many builds at the same level of gameplay instead of just having the same couple of very strong endgame builds. Forced ladder for multiplayer. PD2 has seasons, and with each season comes a theme with different things added to the game. With each season, all characters will be wiped and you'll be forced to restart from scratch. Some might find this as a negative if they were planning on immortalizing their character, but for those who don't, it brings a sense of accomplishment to rebuilding a new character from scratch and finding that sweet, sweet loot. Corruptions. This is an extremely double-edged blade. Corrupting an item can either be your best friend or your worst enemy. An item with a good corruption has its value increased tenfold, i.e. +1 skills. There is a chance that you'll brick an item, or in my case, you'll brick several items in a row. It adds another layer of fun to the game, and it is always a good laugh when an extremely high value unique turns yellow. On a negative aspect for Project Diablo 2, between myself and my community, we were only able to come up with one con, which is graphics. The graphics for Project Diablo 2 pale in comparison to Diablo 2 Resurrected. And until mod support is brought into Diablo 2 Resurrected, no contest who's going to win that every single time. Hello again, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. I've considered myself a Blizzard fanboy throughout the years. I've played Warcraft, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, Diablo, Diablo 2, Diablo 3, played World of Warcraft for some period of time, and I've always enjoyed what Blizzard has put on the forefront. Diablo 2 was just such a milestone of a game. And I did personally play Diablo 3. I know this video was extremely unbiased towards Diablo 3, but I just wanted to get it out of the way so I could, put forth the argument for Diablo 2 versus Project Diablo 2. And I felt like the more I got into it, the more of a bias I'd held. But at the same time, it's something that I strongly believe in. I feel utterly betrayed by the very quick and unresponsive manner that Blizzard decided to remove TCIP support, which essentially killed off modding for Diablo 2 Resurrected. They've just made it in a quick forum post. And, going back, I get kind of a laugh about some of the situations, which one was my buddy had posted to me earlier today when I told him I was making a video, which was a post back on Twitter about them, allowing mod support. And it's just still not on the forefront, and I don't see it coming to the forefront because now Diablo 2 is pushing their own current updates to the game. And I don't know if mods will ever make it to Diablo 2 Resurrected. It's definitely something that would benefit the game for longevity. Diablo 2, I believe, for the most part, it would have faded out quite a bit if it wasn't for the longevity that these mods had provided the game. And that's just my own personal opinion, but it's a strong opinion that a lot of people who are in the Diablo 2 community also agree with. But let me know what you think in the comments below, guys. And again, thank you so much for coming through and watching this video. Like I said, this has been something for myself that I love. I love Diablo 2, and just the mod, it improves upon something that I love. And the way that they approached it with care, and they listened to the community. It just made the game better as a whole. So that's just my own personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And thanks again, guys.